Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're checking out the new Azur Lane stuff that's dropping tomorrow. It's February 6th. It'll be available through the 6th of March, so you got a full month to check it out. We'll jump right into a look at the commanders and ships. New Joyzy Commander. This one looks pretty powerful on first blush here. Main battery shells. This is a battleship commander by trade, by the way. Main battery shells that travel over 10 kilometers deal extra damage by up to 5%. That's ship type neutral, so we can use that base trade on anything. A lot of shots are going to be going over 10%, so that's a pretty decent boost to the damage in those instances. And the unique slot 4 perk there called Don't You Just Love It. Increased damage with Citadel strikes by up to 15% and Titan main battery dispersion by up to 7%. That's extremely powerful. Now keep in mind, slot 4 on an event commander, which doesn't generate its own duplicates naturally like the in-game commanders do, the humans. Significant investment of resources, right? I think it's about 32 blue commendations to get this thing fully maxed. So that's a lot of commendations. But if you can get them, that's actually a really strong commander. That works well with battleships. The base traits looks like it's more or less an actually commander. Slot 3, I'm not seeing the dispersion perk there, but rather the reduction in fires, which is a good perk to take anyways. But overall, it looks pretty good for battleships, and if you want to throw it on some cruisers, that's an interesting build that you can definitely put a good look at. I think you can get a really strong cruiser build on that one as well. So that one looks pretty good. New Jersey, if we can target these individually, that might be one you want to check out and do a deep dive on. Neptune up next here. It's a British cruiser commander, and it looks similar to Fraser's offensive cruiser build. Base trait, deal extra AP damage per 1% HP lost. That's going up by 0.005%. So minuscule. I think, if you maxed it, it would be about 2% boost. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but that's my guess. So not a huge deal, but as you take more damage throughout the battle, you get to deal a little bit more damage over time. Slot 4, unique perk, increase damage against cruisers and destroyers by up to 7%. In turn, reduce the damage by battleships by up to 7%. So depending on your shot selection tendencies, and you'll have to ask this question yourself honestly, if you shoot the cruisers and destroyers, which are typically the higher priority targets, that can be pretty good. If you only shoot battleships, well, you definitely don't want to be using that slot 4 perk. So that one's interesting. Definitely not quite as powerful looking as the first one. Up next here, Roon, German cruiser commander. And base trade here, increase main battery traverse by up to 0.075 degrees per second and rudder shift speeds by up to 3%. They need to come up with a universal way of describing turret traverse. Sometimes it's percentage, sometimes it's this degrees per second. It's very hard to understand fully without putting it on exactly how strong those are. I've been playing for 4 years. I don't really understand it myself. But turret traverse and rudder shift speed, both valuable things. So not a bad base trait. And then where's the unique perk? Looks like slot 3 there this time with the well-rounded armor, it's called. Reduce incoming damage to your ship while sonar is active by up to 10%. Now you're going to have your sonar on as a cruiser, German cruiser in particular, but that's not that strong. I don't know. Roon doesn't send a thrill up my leg. Maybe the base trade will be decent, but that one I would not personally be targeting if I was trying to add these to my collection in the normal method. Chapayev up next, Russian cruiser commander. And looks like more of a mobility defensive build overall. No ingenious I'm noticing in slot 1, but that's alright. Base trait, increased chances of incapacitating an enemy ship's module up to 10%. That's not bad. I don't know if it's that great, but it's not that bad. So if you got it on there, I don't know if I'd be applying that to other ships builds. Maybe not. You can think about that one. But the slot 4 unique perk, Cavalier of the Ether, it's called. Increase cruiser HE shell damage by up to 15% at the cost of reduced chances of HE shell by up to 90%. So Combined with that EOP in slot 4 there, which is going to increase the penetration but reduce the fire chance. I mean, if you combine both of those, which I think you do, if you're using this build, you basically turn the fire starting abilities off, but if you're hitting your shots well, potentially the HE shells would be racking up huge amounts of damage. So that one I'm going to try. I don't know if I could recommend it prior to playing that or not, but it seems like an intriguing, kind of unique build at least. If you're going to play that commander, I would just lean all in on it, at least at first blush. So that one's intriguing just due to the uniqueness of the build. I don't know if base trait's worth going too crazy over, though, as an inspiration for your Navy. Saint Louis. We got a French cruiser commander here now. And the base trait. Reduce cooldown time for all consumables and main battery reload time, both for up to 3%. So not bad. Anytime you can reduce the main battery reload, that's certainly not bad. Cooldown on consumables, that ain't going to hurt you either. That's a decent perk. I don't know if I'd spec it necessarily in other ships, but playing St. Louis, we're not going to be too upset about it. Looking at the perks there, looks like kind of more of a lemon build as opposed to a roux build in the available options on the right. But the unique skill, Bonjour, another tier or level 4, slot 4, I guess, perk. Increase main battery reload booster duration by up to 50% and gain 1 additional charge. So I'd have to do the math, but that's probably adding 1 more shot to your main battery reload booster duration, and you get another one. Now, by the way, if you haven't been experimenting with the higher tier French cruisers since they've been putting those on there, they're pretty dang good. If you can get them in the right situations where you can punish someone, you fire that up, rack up a lot of damage. So this one's intriguing, especially if you like the higher tier French cruisers. I don't have this tier 8 St. Louis yet, but the Martel is certainly much improved as of late. So intriguing there. I think if I had to pick one commander out of the bunch, that New Jersey is probably on paper looks the strongest, but there's a few of them that I'm rather intrigued by. As for the ships, Azur Lane, New Jersey, it says based largely on the Iowa with the following changes. Increased main battery range from 17.7 to 18 kilometers. Improved accuracy 1.8 sigma to 1.9. Improved AP and HE shell velocity. Decreased the HP from 70,000 to 67,000. And the reload time goes from 30 to 31. So Iowa with tweaks. We got a new Space Cadet here probably, especially if you pair it with the New Jersey Commander, which base trait is encouraging long-range shots. Not that you're going to want to run in Iowa within 10 kilometers very often. It will happen, hopefully, sometimes, unless you're really out there in orbit. It could be intriguing to some of you guys. New Jersey, certainly. Long-range sniper, right up the alley of a lot of battleship players. Azur Lane Chapayev. Yeah, well, Chapayev's never been my all-time favorite cruiser, but here's the changes. The HE shell maximum damage from 2350 to 2850, so 500 point boost there. AP goes down by 300, and fire starting chance goes from 12 to 5. So if you pair this ship with the commander using all those things, basically we're going to have no fire starting chance, but like super, super high HE. So to create the niche build, you need to get the ship and the commander. And I will test out the build and see if it's even worth doing. But if this is intriguing you ahead of time, stay tuned. I won't jump into that until you get some feedback as to see if it's working. I mean, it could be super overpowered or it could be completely worthless. We'll find out hopefully next week for you guys. So anyway, that's going to do it for you here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, link below. Let me hear from you guys. Let me know which of these you're interested in. Want to get some feedback on you there. And we'll talk to you later. All right, peace.